Since you're new to H&R Block, we'll go
We are inside 6 minutes to the start of our American Dumpster H1 Unlimited Heat 1A. We are going to have 4 H1 Unlimited hydroplanes coming out onto the race course here for our Heat 1A. The field will look like this. The U91, the black and gold, Miss Goodman Real Estate. Goodman Real Estate will be driven by Jeff Bernard. He'll be joined by a good friend of his, J. Michael Kelly. He is our defending Lake Guntersville champion. He'll be driving the silver and bright orange Miss Tri-Cities, the U8. He's also going to have teammate Corey Peabody driving the U9, the other silver boat, the Lynx Healthcare. That's Corey Peabody in the 9. And rounding out the field, Jeff Ayler, this one should be fun. A lot of orange on the U40, the Beacon Plumbing, Dave Vilwalk. So it's Bernard, J. Michael, Corey Peabody, and Dave Vilwalk. This could be fun.
It's going to be fun. Great way to kick off the 2022 H1 Unlimited Hydroplane season. And better yet, it's for the APBA Gold Cup, the 112th running, the oldest active motorsports trophy in the world.
In the world, that's it, and it's standing right behind us. And good news, we've got 4 boats set to answer the bell. I count 1, 2, 3, 4 rooster tails coming across. And I can tell you right now, the Beacon Plumbing and Dave Vilwalk, they've already had a better day here on day 1 than they had a year ago. They had a very difficult time answering the bell, but they are here. Jeff, we are going to go 3 times around this 2.5-mile oval. We're looking at the clock. We're coming up on 4 minutes and 10 seconds until the start. Again, it's the 91 black and gold. It's the U8 silver and orange. It's the U9 dominant silver and the U40 pretty much all orange. And Dave Vilwalk is the first boat coming across start finish. Predominantly orange trimmed in black, U40 Beacon Plumbing.
Unlike our first 2 heats for our fans along the shoreline, it was assigned lanes, clock start. Now the big guys fight for lanes, clock start. The milling period is very important to position yourself to get to these start-finish line buoys when the clock strikes 0. Brad, if you jump the gun in H1 Unlimited, that is a 1-lap penalty. Boy, Vilwalk in the milling period right now is by himself. The other 3 drivers seem to be keen on each other.
Yeah, the other 3 drivers down there at the bottom of the race course, nobody can really move. See if J. Michael Kelly on the inside doesn't make a left-hand turn here somewhere. Now he's going to put his foot in it, and J. Mike's going to pull ahead, but see if he doesn't make a left-hand turn at the top and maybe come across the race course and get away from those other 2 guys.
And also, too, the 2 silver boats are teammates, J. Michael Kelly and the Miss Tri-Cities, Corey Peabody, and Lynx Healthcare. Now, Bernard is pulled away from him, so Brad, would the teammate drivers try to key on each other and decide how to get to this start-finish line buoy at full tilt at 0?
Yeah, we're never going to know exactly what they're thinking right now, and the 2 teammates are very close together up there. The 2 silver boats, the boat on the outside, look at Dave Vilwalk across the course at 2 minutes and 35 seconds. Now he's out in front of the field talking about the 2 boats that are behind everybody, the 2 silver boats. On the outside is the U9, that's Corey Peabody, the Lynx Healthcare inside, and coming on hard is the U9, or the U8, the Miss Tri-Cities. The difference, and you can see it right there, is the orange on the fairings, the vertical uprights on the U8. They are silver on the U9. Boats are down to the lower end of the race course, and we're cutting the race course again. Dave went all the way down, but we had 2 cutters that are going to get in front of him right now.
Boy, both Bernard and Kelly cut through the GP Pro Light course, and now Bernard, 2 minutes. 2 minutes until American Dumpster Unlimited 1A here at the 2022 Lake Guntersville Hydrofest. It's the APBA Gold Cup for the H1.
Here comes Dave.
Cutting through.
Here comes Dave cutting through. Sorry to jump on you there, but that's a big move, and I think his timing is okay. I have some unofficial marks on this race course. We'll leave that to the professionals, but I think Dave is all right. He wants to be down at that lower corner at some point after 1:30, and right now he's at 1:25.
So Vilwalk, Brad, I think he will go clear down to turn number 1. Peabody's in a position he'll have to do the same. Now Kelly, what's his position? Will he cut? Will he go down? Bernard has a wonderful opportunity to cut.
There he goes. J. Michael Kelly is going to cut the course. Is he too early? Now Vilwalk's going to come off the corner down there and see a rooster tail in front of him. His spotter will say that is J. Michael Kelly. Now looking at the watch, we're inside 1 minute, but J. Michael Kelly out front cannot drop below 80 miles an hour. This is where that rule comes into play. We'll watch him up the backstretch. The Miss Tri-Cities, the U8 is on the inside. He is out front. The Beacon Plumbing with Dave Vilwalk is in second place. Then it is Corey Peabody driving the U9, the Lynx Healthcare, and trailing the field and coming up strong with a lot of boat speed, Jeff Bernard in the 91, the Goodman Real Estate. Top end of the race course, 30 seconds until our start. Come on, Jeff. Oh, he'll pick it up. He may come with an awful lot of boat speed. Now, Jeff Ayler was talking about 16, 15, 13 seconds off that pin. We are at 17 seconds right now. It's getting about time to put your foot on the gas. This is going to be close. Jeff, bring him to the line. The first heat of Unlimiteds.
Guntersville, buckle up. We're 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark, we're racing an American Dumpster Unlimited Heat 1A. Corey Peabody leads them across the line in the Lynx Healthcare in lane number 3. We look to our right, Peabody there first. Peabody, your leader. Vilwalk is there in second. Peabody, Vilwalk, side by side off the turn.
Just like that, we're coming out with side-by-side racing here in Heat 1A, and it is Corey Peabody. Lynx Healthcare got him by a boat length, maybe a boat length and a half. Vilwalk's not going to go away. J. Michael Kelly and the Miss Tri-Cities is in third, and then it's Bernard knocking on the door, and the Goodman Real Estate in fourth. Top end of the race course. We've got to leave room in there for Dave Vilwalk. Although Dave Vilwalk has control of the course, there's Corey Peabody. Jeff off the top end of the race course. Great racing here in our Heat 1A.
Beautiful deck-to-deck dueling American Dumpster Unlimited 1A. Vilwalk on the inside at 68 years of age, driving like a 28-year-old. Your official leader after lap number 1 is Corey Peabody. Lynx Healthcare, Vilwalk in second, Beacon Plumbing, deck-to-deck racing for third. Kelly to the inside, Bernard to the outside. Back into turn number 1 to begin the H1 season. Vilwalk at 68 years of age is in front, but Peabody is there.
Peabody is right there as they come off the exit pin. Now we talk about that acceleration off that pin, and Dave seems to have it. Looks like one boat. Trust me, Corey is right there. He's knocking on the door right with him. We've got another deck-to-deck duel going on up the backstretch. Jeff Bernard's got about 2 boat lengths on J. Michael Kelly driving out of Tri-Cities. The Goodman Real Estate is out front by 2 boat lengths, but top end of the race course, Beacon Plumbing, the 68-year-old superstar Dave Vilwalk slides out to about lane number 3. Still got Corey sitting right on his hip, Jeff.
Little hip check by Dave Vilwalk. Look legal from our vantage point. We will come down to get the white flag. Hopefully, yes, white flag is displayed. 2 complete, 1 to go, and now Vilwalk extends it out. Oh, and Peabody flew the Lynx Healthcare back in second. Now J. Michael Kelly has moved into third, and Miss Tri-Cities, Jeff Bernard fourth, and Miss Goodman Real Estate, Brad off the turn. Can Vilwalk hang on to get 400 points?
It looks like he may be able to do it. He's got about a full rooster tail, but Corey doesn't want to go away. Beacon Plumbing U40. Dave Vilwalk showing the dominance of that bright orange boat with the black trim and the dominance and the importance of the inside lane. Corey still hanging right with him, but it's about a rooster tail difference. This race for third is not over. Miss Tri-Cities with J. Michael Kelly and the Goodman Real Estate with Jeff Bernard got their own duel going. Now Dave Vilwalk has opened up more water on Corey Peabody. I think Corey lets him go. Checkered flag should fly. Jeff, bring him home.
68 years of age, 67 career wins, 10 gold cups. The checkered flag is out. Dave Vilwalk is your winner of American Dumpster Unlimited 1A here at Lake Guntersville. Second place will go to Corey Peabody and the U9 Lynx Healthcare. J. Michael Kelly fought and battled for that third place position, gained superiority halfway through it. Third place to J. Michael Kelly in U8 Miss Tri-Cities. Jeff Bernard, I'm sure he'll be disappointed, Brad. Not the best start that Jeff Bernard could have got, but they did score and will get 169 points.
because our officials right now are in the process of verifying whether or not we have a new course record here that was set by Vilwalk. They're looking at some tape, and either way, whether he did or not, he was running really fast outside of Dave Vilwalk.
And Brad, while you stepped away, they're rechecking, but right now it appears he was just a touch short of that, but they will go back and recalculate and retime to see if that record was set as we're approaching the 5-minute period. And the first miscue of Gold Cup weekend 2022 goes to Corey Peabody in the Lynx Healthcare. Could have had 300 points. Penalty takes him down to 169. But, Brad, you're right. They did score. They would rather have the 300, but they'll take what they got.
We got boats on the water. Jimmy Shane is away from the dock, and the U1, the Miss Home Street. We've got him on our monitor here, and we can look across and see him. Here comes Jamie Nielsen right behind him. So we've got 2 of our 3 boats coming out across the lake from the pit area. Let's go racing again. It is our H1 Unlimited Heat 1B presented by American Dumpster. And we got 3 boats. It's always fun. Let's do it again, Jeff.
Should be fun. And, Brad, this will be the first time for our fans here at Lake Guntersville. The turbocharged Allison racer leaving the dock, Jimmy Shane, the last piston-powered boat in the sport, will make an appearance in 1B.
Yep, and they are away from the dock. We've got all 3 boats up and running away, so that's a good thing. It'll be the U11, the Miss Colleen, Jamie Nielsen, the U1, the Miss Home Street, Jimmy Shane, and our third-place finisher, our third boat in the heat, the Griggs presents Miss Ace Hardware, Jimmy King, the U3, the Turbinator, first boat across the start-finish line here. Can't miss that one, Jeff, powder blue and white. It is the Miss Home Street. Turned some mighty quick laps yesterday, but that was yesterday, and he didn't get any points for that. We need points now. He'd love to see 400 points and get a good start on that national high points race. You did talk about Corey Peabody, and I know you don't have a microphone, so this is great. I can ask you all kinds of questions you can't answer. We're getting some new batteries in Jeff's equipment here, but I think these guys as racers will tell you that if you're going to have a bad heat in the Gold Cup, make it the first one, don't make it the last one.
You do want it in the first one, but you hate to start that way, but it is better the first heat and then figure out how the sequence will go in 2, 3, and 4.
And I'm sure if you talked to Corey Peabody last year, here comes the Terminator across start-finish line with 3 minutes. Coming up on 3 minutes until the start, looking good. Griggs presents Ace Hardware, and there was some question, Jeff, about that when they were out and ran earlier this morning. The boat went down in the water and had to receive a tow back to the pit area. Apparently it was nothing terribly major, or at least anything that has been reported. The boat is back out on the water looking good.
Important 3-boat heat coming up here in American Dumpster Unlimited 1B, approaching the 2-minute and 30-second mark. Brad, definitely on paper, the Home Street Blue and White, the favorite with Jimmy Shane, but you don't run them on paper, you run them on the water. Now this battle here between these 2 boats for 300 points could be very exciting depending on how the lanes shake up and sort out. So Jamie Nielsen up in turn number 2 first in the Miss Colleen, followed by Jimmy King and the Griggs presents Miss Ace Hardware as we're approaching the 2-minute mark. And right now, Brad, Jimmy Shane, I think everybody's in ideal positioning.
I was waiting. I was keeping an eye on Jimmy to see if he didn't come across, and here he comes, and he's going to park that thing in 1 if he wants it. It's early in the weekend, as we say all the time, Jeff. You can't win the Gold Cup in the first heat of the day, but you can sure as heck lose it. Don't do anything silly. Get your points. You do not want to be down at the entrance pin to that lower corner. This is my unofficial timing at 1:30. We're at 1:33 right now, so I think all of them are in pretty good shape. And it looks like Jamie Nielsen is on the inside of Jimmy King and the piston-powered Turbinator.
And, Brad, I thought all 3 would go down, so Shane will lead them down into turn number 1, followed by Nielsen and King in the piston-powered Griggs presents Miss Ace Hardware. Approaching the 1-minute period for American Dumpster Unlimited Heat 1B. Brad loose, 1 minute has come. It's expired. We're under 1 minute. Set these lanes for 1B.
Well, coming out of the corner there and up the back chute with, as you say, inside of 1 minute. We're at 50 seconds in lane 1 on the inside. That's the powder blue and white, the Miss Home Street, driven by Jimmy Shane. Then it looks like it'll be Jamie Nielsen in lane 2, driving the chartreuse and royal blue, Miss Colleen. And then on the outside, it's the Griggs Presents Miss Ace Hardware. This could be a dandy start. The boats are starting to score up very well. Looking at the watch, inside 30 seconds. I'll take them to the exit pin, Jeff, then you bring them down. Nielsen starts to accelerate on the outside. He's bringing King with him. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3. Now they're going to fan out and come down. 16 seconds on my watch, Jeff. Looks good. Bring them down.
I think they'll be fine. Shane in 1, Nielsen in 2, King in 3, Guntersville. We are 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark, and we're racing in American Dumpster Unlimited 1B. Jimmy King leads him officially across the line in lane number 3 in the Turbinator. We'll look to the inside.
Your father knows about saving money. Everything I'm wearing, I've had since boot camp.
And I just saved on my car insurance for driving safe with USAA.
Auto insurance that flexes with you.
Hit the fit.
And Jimmy Shane takes the lead in Miss Home Street. King in 2nd, Nielsen in 3rd, Brad, Shane in front, King battling in 2nd.
Yeah, King's coming hard in 2nd place, and look at Nielsen in between boats. He's almost dead even with Jimmy King as they come down the backstretch. The start is good. We called again. Look at the speed from Jimmy King in that piston-powered boat. He's actually moving away from Nielsen in 2nd place. He's got his sights on that blue boat. That is a tall order, but the 3 of them are all at the top end of the race course together. Oh, and Nielsen got wet in there a little bit. He dropped back, but it's Shane coming off the corner with the lead, Jeff.
Jimmy Shane, your leader. You won Miss Home Street, making a rooster tail and a half over the Turbinator. Lap number 1 complete, 2 to go. Miss Home Street comfortably in front. But here's that thunder that the Griggs Presents Miss Ace Hardware in 2nd. Jamie Nielsen 3rd, Miss Colleen. All 3 approaching turn number 1. Jimmy Shane remaining on the buoy row in Miss Home Street. King continues to chase, and Brady's cut into the deficit some, exiting the turn.
Yeah, he really has. He's into the rooster tail there. Keep an eye on Nielsen. He's not out of this yet because he's on that inside track. Jimmy King with the Turbinator trying to run down Jimmy Shane up the backstretch. Halfway up there, he's in the rooster tail. It is Jimmy Shane driving a Home Street. Then it is Jimmy King in the Griggs Presents the Ace Hardware. They're at the top end of the course, entrance pin at the top end. This is lap number 2. They will come down and pick up the white flag with 1 to go. I'll tell you what, Jeff Ayler, King is not going away.
Shane's lead is evaporating. The Turbinator has come to play at the Gold Cup. We will receive the white flag. And now it's down to a full rooster tail. White flag displayed here in American Dumpster Unlimited 1B. And now Jimmy Shane's lead is down to 10 boat lengths. Jimmy King still chasing in 2nd. And Griggs Presents Miss Ace Hardware. Jamie Nielsen remains in 3rd, and Miss Colleen in turn number 1. Shane shorter way around on the buoy rows, and here comes the Turbinator.
Jimmy King does not want to let him go. This is the white flag lap. That means the checkers are waiting for him. Jimmy Shane has got a right side rear view mirror that is full of red piston power. It's the Home Street with the lead up the backstretch. Griggs Ace Hardware, 2nd place. He's only about 5, maybe 6 boat lengths back. This is going to be a charge. If King's got anything left, he might surprise Jimmy Shane. I think he surprised all of us with the boat speed he's showing. Top end of the race course. They're going to come off the corner and run down for the checkered flag. Where's Jimmy? There he is. He's right there on the outside. Jeff, bring him down.
All right, Guntersville, does the Turbinator have it? Time running out. Jimmy Shane sees the checkered flag waving. Jimmy Shane wins it. Unlimited 1B, brought to you by American Dumpster. Jimmy King was 2nd in the Griggs Presents Miss Ace Hardware, and Jamie Nielsen will come across the start-finish line buoy in the 3rd position in Miss Colleen. Brad, our knowledgeable fans here in Guntersville, I think they've got a new boat. They like the Turbinator.
Yes, Guntersville, what do you think of piston power? He can make that thing roll. That was some kind of fun. Oh, my God. Can we just fuel him up and run him again?
As Rooster Tail rises from the pit area. We are 5 minutes and 15 seconds away from Marshall County Tourism and Sports Unlimited Heat 2A. Brad Luce, it's a 4-boat 2A. Let's check our lineup.
First boat of the 4 that is going to answer the bell in Heat 2A, presented by Marshall County Tourism and Sports. The U8, the Miss Tri-Cities, driven by defending Guntersville champion J. Michael Kelly. Going to be joined out there by the Red Turbinator. Griggs presents Miss Ace Hardware. That's the U3, Jimmy King behind the wheel. Then he's going to get joined by the U91. That's the black and gold Goodman Real Estate. Jeff Bernard handles the driving chores in that one. And if that wasn't enough for you, how about the U40, the orange and black Beacon Plumbing, Dave Vilwalk. Jeff Ayler, we got the 8, the 3, the 91, and the 40, or if you like it this way, Kelly, King, Bernard, Vilwalk.
Should be a good lineup here in Marshall County Tourism and Sports. Unlimited 2A, Vilwalk entering turn number 1. Jeff Bernard in the gold and black Miss Goodman Real Estate. The silver boat with the fluorescent orange to the back on the wing, that's the Miss Tri-Cities. And Brad, the boat entering turn number 2 is the turbocharged Allison. Griggs presents Miss Ace Hardware with Jimmy King, otherwise known as the Turbinator.
When the boats went down to the lower end of the race course last time, our leader going down there was the 40 and Dave Vilwalk. When he got to the exit pin and looked ahead of him, he saw a rooster tail. That would have been Jeff Bernard, who cut the race course at the lower end. That's Bernard up there at the entrance pin. Oh, and Dave says, I'll just return the favor. Thank you very much. Here comes Dave Vilwalk coming across the race course in what has become over the years a signature move for the young man who's got more wins than anybody in H1 Unlimited Racing.
67 career wins for Dave Vilwalk, 10 APBA Gold Cups, looking for number 11 tomorrow afternoon to tie Chip Hanauer. So Jimmy King in turn 1. Vilwalk cuts through the infield once again. Brad, will Kelly follow?
He's going to go all the way down. J. Mike is going to go all the way down to the lower end of the race course. Looks like Bernard is going to cut the course. He's going to go front to back, head over to the backside. So now the last boat going up the backstretch there is J. Michael Kelly. First up the backstretch is Beacon Plumbing. That is Dave Vilwalk. Behind him, the Turbinator. The Griggs presents Miss Ace Hardware. And this is vintage Vilwalk. That is 3 times in a row he has cut the race course. The second boat now going up the backstretch and cutting the race course again, Jeff Bernard. And Kelly is the only boat left on the backstretch right now. So there's a lot of games being played right now. You don't want to show your best start procedure this early in the weekend, but these guys are doing some maneuvering.
2:20 until the start, 2:20. Vilwalk elected to go down into turn number 1. Now Bernard cuts through the infield, turn number 1 of the smaller course. Here's the Turbinator. Jimmy King right here in front of us, about 500 feet to the start-finish line buoy, and behind him is J. Michael Kelly. Brad, 2 minutes. This 5-minute warm-up period seems like it's taken forever. There are still games to decide and lanes to decide.
Yeah, there's lanes to decide. Look at J. Michael Kelly. He's turning hard left, hard right, hard left, hard right. He's trying to scruff off time. He wants to go all the way down to the bottom end of the race course. That's what he's going to do. And we're looking at a clock. Oh, he's early, Jeff. He is early, 1:40 until the start. Now, here comes the rest of the crew behind him. Dave comes smoking down here. Dave's going to go down there behind Kelly. Kelly, remember, has got to stay over 80 miles an hour. He's going to go way wide down there. Now, as you said, keep an eye on Jeff Bernard. Jeff, is it possible he cuts the race course here?
It's going to be tight.
I don't know. He's not. He's going to go all the way. King might.
This will be a change.
Even the sweetest change.
Cut the course here. He might be in pretty good position to do it, but he's not going to. He, too, is going to go all the way down.
Think it's going to be an erratic start, Brad. We'll see how this gamesmanship plays out. Kelly, no doubt, early.
Yeah, Kelly's very early. Still got 52 seconds, and he's already past the halfway mark of the backstretch. Sometimes, Jeff Ayler, you can overpay for that inside lane, and it can cost you dearly. Look at King on the outside. We've seen him do this many times before. Bring a ton of boat speed and come up hard behind everybody. Those two boats trailing the field, I think they're in pretty good shape. 30 seconds until our start. Kelly, I think, is going to be in lane one unless he goes wide to scruff off speed. Then it's going to be Dave Villwock up there. Then our other two boats are going to get up there, the Turbinator and Jeff Bernard. They're coming off the clock. 15 seconds, Jeff. Bring them down.
Thank you, Brad. Kelly, no doubt, early on the clock, and Villwock coming by him. We are now 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark, it appears to be a clean start. We're racing in Marshall County Tourism and Sports Unlimited 2A. The boats to the outside had the best start, but we'll see who has the best real estate to the inside in turn number one. Getting there first, that's Jeff Bernard, your leader. Villwock in second, Kelly in third, and it's a triple-decker.
Oh, boy, coming off the backstretch, it's Bernard on the outside. It is Dave Villwock into Beacon Plumbing. He is on the inside of Bernard. Giving ground is J. Michael Kelly in lane one. This is going to be a race out front between the two leaders, Jeff Bernard and the Goodman Real Estate. Here comes Super Dave. Super Dave is closed up on him as they get to the entrance pin of the corner. He's on the inside. Bernard's going to try and keep the speed up on him. There you see. Now he can hold Dave in tight. Gonna get real close up there, but plenty of lane space. And the Turbinator is in this mix as well, Jeff.
Beautiful dueling here, side by side. A possible one-lap penalty will clarify through the race, but physically, Dave Villwock leads it by 3 boat lengths over Jeff Bernard and Goodman Real Estate. Jimmy King in third. Griggs presents Miss Ace Hardware. J. Michael Kelly trails at the top 2 in turn number 1, working lap number 2. Villwock on the inside. Bernard is there. Brad, the 68-year-old, driving like a 28-year-old in front.
And he's got a youngster behind him on the outside. His rearview mirrors are full of black and gold of Jeff Bernard and the Goodman Real Estate. Now, all of a sudden, J. Michael Kelly is starting to make some noise in fourth place. He's got his eyes set on Jimmy King. He's running in some sloppy water back there, Jeff, but he is on the inside of the Turbinator. We'll keep an eye on that one. Have you got word of a possible penalty?
Getting word on a possible infraction. We'll go ahead with the physical run. We'll watch the flags. Marshall County Tourism and Sports Unlimited 2A. White flag is displayed for Dave Villwock. He'll accept it in the Miss Beacon Plumbing, walking it side to side. A rooster tail advantage over Jeff Bernard in second. In Miss Goodman Real Estate. Jimmy King in third, and Griggs presents Miss Ace Hardware, but Brad, J. Michael Kelly sneaking up the inside wake of the Turbinator. Villwock in front, the race is for third.
Down at the lower end of the race course, we'll keep an eye on that race back there for third. Where did Kelly go? Kelly went outside, and Kelly is down. J. Michael Kelly in the Miss Tri-Cities is down at the lower end of the race course. Now our boats are spread out. Dave Villwock in the U40, the Beacon Plumbing. He is up the backstretch physically on the water. It was our leader. We're going to keep an ear to the official radio here. What do you got, Jeff?
We're going to have possibility of 2 boats with a 1-lap penalty. Brad will watch the flags. Fans along the shoreline, stand with us. Fans at home watching, stand with us. White flag is displayed. White flag. Dave Villwock has been issued a 1-lap penalty in the Beacon Plumbing. Here's your winner of the Marshall County Tourism and Sports Unlimited 2A, Jeff Bernard. And I think we got a 1-lap penalty on the Griggs presents Miss Ace Hardware. So J. Michael Kelly will get second in the Miss Tri-Cities, a violation that we've not been told of, but 1-lap penalties on Villwock and King.
Yeah, the two.
Six minutes until the start. Marshall County Tourism and Sports Unlimited Heat 2B will be a 3-boat H1 Unlimited heat race for the 2022 APBA Gold Cup.
Taylor, our boats are starting to come away from the dock. We've got movement on the U9 Lynx Healthcare. Corey Peabody behind the wheel. We got movement on the U1. That is the Miss Home Street, driven by Jimmy Shane. And as I say all of that, the Miss Colleen with Jamie Nielsen is away from the dock. I think we're going to get all our boats to answer the bell. 5 minutes and 15 seconds to our start. Normally, at a race venue, Jeff Baylor, we don't allow the boats to come out on the water until the 5-minute mark. And that's not you and me don't allow them out, but the officials don't allow the boats on the water until the 5-minute mark. They let them come out at the 6-minute mark just because the pit area is so far across the lake.
Unique setup with that pit area about 1 3/4 mile away from the start-finish line here, as some of our boats are well, actually all 3 have left the pit dock. We are coming up on 4 minutes and 40 seconds until the start. Brad Luce, let's ID the participants coming up here in Marshall County Tourism and Sports Unlimited 2B.
Let's start with the U11, the Miss Colleen, boat owned by Scott and Shannon Rainey out of Cle Elum, Washington. That's in the central part of the state. It is driven by Jamie Nielsen. Joining him out on the race course for this particular heat will be the boat owned by the city of Madison, Indiana. It is the U1, the Miss Home Street. Jimmy Shane will handle the driving duties. He's had a good weekend so far, picked up 400 points in his first heat. And right behind him is the U9, the Lynx Healthcare, driven by Corey Peabody. They've looked very good this weekend. There's a sleeper floating around this place. It's that Lynx Healthcare and Corey Peabody. Quick word about Lynx Healthcare, a brand new sponsor on the H1 Unlimited Tour. They have climbed on board with Daryl and Vanessa Strong and the Strong Racing Stable. We welcome Lynx Healthcare to H1 Unlimited Racing. Jeff Ayler, 3 minutes and 30 seconds, 3:30.
Thank you, Brad. Marshall County Tourism and Sports Unlimited 2B. Jamie Nielsen by the start-finish line buoy. In Miss Colleen. Cutting through, Corey Peabody, Lynx Healthcare. Jimmy Shane electing to go on up into turn number 2. In the U1, Miss Home Street, campaigned by Miss Madison Racing. So, Brad, it's our final heat of the afternoon. We're 3 minutes. 3 minutes until the start. Strategy, Shane again with the blind draw. Comes out perfect here for him and the Miss Madison team. And 2B, they drew another good one. But we'll see who wants those second place points. But Shane could get a challenge from Peabody in Lynx Healthcare if Corey could get on the inside of this boat right here at the start-finish line buoy.
I think that's the case. If Corey Peabody can get the U9 Lynx Healthcare on the inside of Jimmy Shane, he could cause some problems for Mr. Shane. Trust me, it's not just that he needs to be inside Jimmy Shane. If anybody's on the outside of Jimmy Shane, you're going to have your hands full trying to drive around him. That boat just is that fast. Coming up on 2:10 until the start, but I've really liked the U9 Lynx Healthcare. So far, the past 2 days, the boats run real well. Corey Peabody, he's a good shoe. He knows how to handle things. And we talked about it earlier, Jeff. Don't forget Jamie Nielsen. You open the door, he's going to put that chartreuse in royal blue, Miss Colleen, in lane 1.
He likes lane 1. That's where he's at right now in the milling period, the start sequence.
They're early, Jeff. They're early again. We're looking at 140 to get down there. I think they'll be okay. But if Nielsen wants lane 1, he's going to have to keep it under, or keep it over 80 miles an hour, and he's at the entrance pin to the corner about now, 125. That's going to be close.
So we are 1 minute 20 seconds away from Marshall County Tourism and Sports Unlimited Heat 2B. Jamie Nielsen, the first boat in turn number 1, and Miss Colleen, followed by Corey Peabody in Lynx Healthcare. And right now in the sequence, it looks like Jimmy Shane will have to go to lane number 3 in the Miss Home Street.
I want to engage the team with this document, so let me make this more visual and a little more fun. Much better.
The 1 minute gun has come and gone, 55 seconds away. Brad Luce set these lanes. They need to be established prior to the entrance pin of turn 2.
Yeah, and the way they're going up the backstretch right now, Jamie Nielsen, we said if he had the opportunity, he's not afraid and not shy to stick that chartreuse and royal blue Miss Colleen in that inside lane. That's where he is. Then following up behind him is Corey Peabody driving the Lynx Healthcare, the U9. Watch for Jimmy Shane to light up the home street and come wide with just a whole bunch of boat speed. Looking at the watch, we've still got 22 seconds to kill. Jamie Nielsen is just about to the exit pin. He's going to stay on that inside lane. We're inside 15 seconds. Jeff, bring him down.
By the timing marks, this looks good coming to the line. We are 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. We're racing at Marshall County Tourism and Sports Unlimited Heat 2B. Jamie Nielsen was there first in the Miss Colleen. 3 unlimited hydroplanes in the turn. The start is under review. It will involve the 11. Jamie Nielsen, your leader off the corner, but Brad Peabody and Shane is hidden.
Boy, Peabody and Shane are on the outside. There goes Jimmy Shane on the outside. You on the home straight. Look at the powder blue rocket. And look at Corey Peabody. Corey Peabody also gets past Jamie Nielsen. Now, Corey Peabody is on the inside of Jimmy Shane. That may be our boat race. Top end of the race course, Shane. Got to leave 2 lanes open in there. I'm sure he'll drive him clean. This is where Peabody can make up some ground. Look how wide Jimmy Shane drove him. Staying very, very clean. Jeff, come down the boat. 1 in the book.
Beautiful sight. Turn number 2 on lap number 1. Shane is powered on the outside. 1 complete, 2 to go. Shane leads it in Miss Home Street. Make it a 3/4 rooster tail advantage over Corey Peabody in the Lynx Healthcare. Jamie Nielsen in third in the Miss Colleen. We're getting word once again in this heat of a possible 1-lap penalty on a participant. Shane comfortably in front.
He is comfortably in front, but Corey Peabody in the Lynx Healthcare does not want to go. The 11 has jumped the gun. He has also dropped down. He at the lower end of the race course. The 11's out of it. Corey Peabody now looking at a tall order, even though he is on the inside of Jimmy Shane. I don't know that he's going to be able to run him down. Shane is sending a message up and down pit road, Jeff Ayler. I can put this thing on the outside, and you still can't beat me.
Jamie Nielsen has relit the Miss Colleen, running in third. Jimmy Shane looking sharp in Marshall County Tourism and Sports Unlimited 2B. White flag displayed. 2 in the books and 1 more to go for Shane. Now making a tail and a half in front. And now Corey Peabody. Will he go to the outside wake of Shane? I believe he is. Nielsen remains in third. Final time around for your top 2. Home Street, blue and white in front. That's Jimmy Shane.
Jimmy Shane comes off the lower corner, got about 3/4 of a lap to go, and he will pick up another checkered flag, his second one on the day. If I can quote my good friend Jeff Ayler, I think shouting's over in this one. I think Corey Peabody in the Lynx Healthcare will let Jimmy Shane in the home street go. Miss Colleen picks up the white flag. They've got 1 more to go. Top end of the race course, suddenly it's a 2 rooster tail lead. Jimmy Shane, watch this. He's going to stay wide. He's going to find lots of clean water. Goes out to about lane number 11. He was way out there on this one. Give it up for Jimmy Shane.
Checkered flag is waving. Here's your winner of Marshall County Tourism and Sports Unlimited 2B, Jimmy Shane in Miss Home Street. Second place will go to Corey Peabody in the U9 Lynx Healthcare. And Brad, I believe we got another lap and a half to go.
Being an artist rocks, but selling your work sucks. But that's where Bluehost comes in to help. You can easily host, design, and launch a WordPress.
For Jamie Nielsen in the third spot in the U11, Miss Colleen, you got a little bit more clarification on the penalty coming up on the U11, Miss Colleen, but these are important points for the 11. They want to score and get those 225 points and see how the draw looks tomorrow in Unlimited's 3A and 3B. Brad, did you get a clarification?
I did. That was a tough heat for Jamie Nielsen, who's going to come down here, and he's going to pick up the white flag because of that difficult heat. He did jump the start. That adds a lap to what he has to do. Then I'm not sure exactly where it was. I'm looking at it. I'm not sure exactly where it was, but his second penalty was on the second lap. He missed a buoy in one of the Let's get it going. I'm ready. I know you are. Let's take a look at the boats that are going to come out and compete in our Heat 3A. And, Jeff, it is day 2 of 2, which means we crown the champion at the end of the day. My understanding is we're going to run 5 boats on the front row. You've got to be one of those top 5 point getters to get on the front row of that final heat. And we've got some boats now that are looking at those points going, I got to get some.
Got to get some, and one that needs some desperately. Actually, 2 boats. Currently 7th in points, Jamie Nielsen with 450, and Miss Colleen. And Corey Peabody, the top qualifier at last year's Southern Cup, currently in the 6th position with 469 points in Lynx Healthcare. Miss Madison Racing right now stands on top of the point standings after 2 sections of the Gold Cup. Jimmy Shane with 800 points in first. His teammate Jeff Bernard in second with 625. Right now, Brad, is we're 5 minutes and 35 seconds until the start. Shane wants to remain clean, not getting any problems, because yesterday he drew both 3-boat heats. This is his first 4-boat heat of the weekend.
You're exactly right. Yes, he wants points. He wants to win because of the national high points race, which is the total points throughout the season. But first and foremost, as you just said, this is the Gold Cup. He wants to win the Gold Cup. He wants to run clean, score points, and he'll be any points, and he'll be in great shape to be on the front row of the final. We got boats on the water as we are now inside 5 minutes. 5 minutes to Heat 3A of the H1 Unlimited APBA Gold Cup. Heat 3A is presented by Explore Lake Guntersville, and you should visit ExploreLakeGuntersville.com.
Brad Luce, let's ID the participants for our fans along the shoreline, our guests at the Lake Guntersville Hydro Fest.
First boat coming out of front straightaway is that U1, the Miss Home Street, powder blue and white. Jimmy Shane sits behind the wheel, 800 points. Boat is owned by the citizens of Madison, Indiana. Right behind him, Jamie Nielsen, driving the Chartreuse and Royal Blue as he jumps on the screen for those of you watching online. That's the Miss Colleen, the U11, driven by Jamie Nielsen. Seeing who's coming off the top end of the race course. Now here comes Corey. This will be Corey Peabody coming across next. You'll see him momentarily there online. He's coming across start-finish line right now. Those of you online, as the camera moves, there's Corey. The U9 Lynx Healthcare. We talked a lot about them yesterday, Jeff. A brand new sponsor in H1 Unlimited Hydroplane. Boy, wouldn't that be something? Get your name on the Gold Cup right out of the box.
Well, it would, and owners Darryl Vanessa Strong picked up their first unlimited win last year with the other boat in the team, the U8 Miss Tri-Cities.
Yes, they certainly did. They'd love to do it again as Corey's going to cut the course, but looking way across the race course and up the backstretch behind Corey there. You can barely see him. There he is for those of you online. The U91, the Goodman Real Estate, is at the top end of the race course. That is our 4th and final boat. It is driven by Jeff Bernard. It is black and gold. It's beautiful. They've come in here with 625 points. They're number 2 in the standings right now, Jeff. Same thing. Run clean, get some points.
Run clean. We're 3 minutes and 5 seconds from the start. Brad, for our fans along the shoreline, clock start in H1 Unlimited. Your lane is not assigned to you when you leave the pit area. You fight for it. And that's what's taking place right now in the milling period. You have to have your lane established prior to the entrance pin of turn number 2. Prior to the start, then hold your lane, come down to the line. Name of the game, be at these white buoys at full song at 0. If you jump the gun, you're issued a 1-lap penalty. And Brad, that's what these drivers don't want in the Gold Cup, because it's points, points, points to get to the final at 5 o'clock later today.
Yeah, it certainly is, and look what's going on up the backstretch as you talk about the fact that we fight for lanes. You got 3 boats right there. Corey's sitting on the inside right now. That's Corey Peabody in the Lynx Healthcare sitting just inside Jimmy Shane in the Home Street. Then on the outside there is the Miss Colleen with Jamie Nielsen. Jeff Bernard follows. Watch Jeff. I'm just going to say, watch Jeff, see if he doesn't cut. And here he comes right on cue. Jeff Bernard in the 91's going to come across and jump in front of those 3. Corey. And now the timing's going to get interesting because this may very well be the way they're going to go all the way down to the lower end. Our lanes may be getting determined right about now, Jeff.
And each boat has to stay above 80 miles per hour in the warm-up period. That is monitored by GPS for H1 Unlimited. And Brad, the 4-boat field, making their way to turn number 1. Bernard leads them down, followed by Peabody, with Nielsen and Shane trailing back. Bernard is there first, and right now, Brad, Bernard has the 91 Goodman Real Estate parked on the buoy row, but still lots to decide. We now are 1 minute and 10 seconds until the start. Brad, by your timing marks, how's the field look?
I think the field is in good shape right now, and lane 1 is going to go to Jeff Bernard. Lane 2, at least as it is right now, and I don't expect anything to change. Goodman Real Estate is in 1 with Jeff Bernard. It is the Lynx Healthcare, the U9, Corey Peabody, trailing him up there. That's the silver boat. He is going to be in lane 2. Jimmy Shane and the Home Street is going to be in lane 3 with Jamie Nielsen on the far outside. Jeff, we are coming up to 40 seconds until our start. Take them through the top end of the race course. We'll bring them down. And now is when that start is absolutely critical. They want to be on the line when that clock strikes 0. We were watching yesterday, maybe a 15, 16, maybe even a 17-second run off that exit pin. We're at 22, and they're approaching. They are. Watch on the outside. No, that's Nielsen there. Watch Jimmy Shane from lane 3 with a hole shot, Jeff.
Bernard is early by our timing marks. 10 seconds away. Explore Lake Guntersville, Heat 3A coming up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark, we're racing in Explore Lake Guntersville, Heat 3A. Bernard hit the throttle right there at the last second. Leads the field down into turn number 1 and lane number 1. Bernard there first. Shane is actually second in lane number 3. Bernard in front. We got a deck-to-deck battle for second between Peabody and Shane.
Coming off the bottom end of the race course, Jeff Bernard. He was a little bit early on the start, but was able to get on it in enough time so he could get to the lower corner first, and he's holding that lead. It looks like 3 boats up the backstretch. There are 4 in second place. You've got Corey Peabody and Jimmy Shane in the Lynx Healthcare and the Home Street. Top end of the race course. Bernard running like a rocket, Jeff. He's really flying.
The start was good for H1 Unlimited. And Brad, will we have it? Yes, we have a triple-decker off turn number 2 and Explore Lake Guntersville, Heat 3A, side by side by side. And now Jimmy Shane pulls out in lane number 3, takes the lead in Miss Home Street. As we go back into turn number 1, Shane in front on the outside. Shane maintains that lead. Now Lynx Healthcare in second with Corey Peabody. Bernard in third. Brad off the corner. Shane Powers in front.
Shane's out by about 3 boat lengths. It is Jeff Bernard has dropped back behind the 2 leaders. Now Corey gonna try and run down Jimmy Shane on the inside in that silver Lynx Healthcare. This happened yesterday, and Corey was unable to get him. Remember, we said Corey Peabody needs points. He'd love to have 400. 300 will do him just fine, but he also wants to let Jimmy Shane know, I can run you down on the inside. Top end of the race course. Jimmy driving him really clean, Jeff.
Boy, beautiful turn by Corey Peabody on the inside. Exciting Explore Lake Guntersville Unlimited 3A. Shane accepts the white flag in front, making a 5-boat length advantage over Corey Peabody and Lynx Healthcare in second. The race is for first in Unlimited 3A. Your top 2 in turn number 1. Now Shane extends it out, make it 7 boat lengths, but Brad Peabody still driving strong on the pins.
He really would like to sniff those 400 points and run down Jimmy Shane. I don't know if he's going to be able to get him. He's sitting back by about a rooster tail. Jimmy Shane driving the U1, the Miss Home Street, got a rooster tail on Corey. He's been driving him really clean. And Jeff, you know what we mean by that. When he comes off the top end of the race course, he needs to leave a lane for Corey Peabody up there. He's been giving him plenty of room.
A great day to begin the APBA Gold Cup at Lake Guntersville. Final turn, final lap for the top 2. Jimmy Shane extending it out. 3A sponsored by Explore Lake Guntersville. ExploreLakeGuntersville.com. Checkered flag waving. Your winner of 3A, Jimmy Shane and Miss Home Street. Second place will go to Corey Peabody. in the Lynx Healthcare. Jeff Bernard had the best start of all in lane number 1, but fell back to 3rd spot. Jeff Bernard 3rd place in the 91 Goodman Real Estate. We don't want to forget about Jamie Nielsen. Jamie exiting turn number 2. He will come down to get the everybody else in this part of the country. They've just been so hospitable and great to work with, and glad they're on board with us, providing the sound at the 2022 Lake Guntersville Hydrofest APBA Gold Cup for the H1 Unlimited Hydroplanes.
We are inside 6 minutes to the start. While we were talking there, it happened. In fact, we're 5:50 right now away from the start. It is Heat 3B of the H1 Unlimited Hydroplane Series. It is the 2022 APBA Gold Cup here in beautiful Lake Guntersville in Guntersville, Alabama. Heat 3B is presented to the Hydrofest by Explore Lake Guntersville. Follow them on Facebook. Explore Lake Guntersville. And if you're not here, that's a good place to go. Dial them up and see what we're talking about, because we are not overselling this one.
Boats leaving the pit area right now. The first one out is the U40 Miss Beacon Plumbing with Dave Vilwalk, followed by the U8 Miss Tri-Cities with J. Michael Kelly and Jimmy King getting a light and answer to the turbocharged Allison U3. Griggs presents Miss Ace Hardware. 3 laps in this Explore Lake Guntersville Unlimited Heat 3B. Clock start. It is fight for lanes in H1 Unlimited. Brad, that's what makes H1 Unlimited hydroplane racing exciting. These drivers out here right now, when they left, have no idea what lane they'll be in right now. That's what we call the race before the race. ID our boats in this heat.
Yeah, first thing I want everybody to watch right now, I may be wrong on this one, but that is J. Michael Kelly on the outside. See if Mike doesn't really wind it up here. He did not have what looked like a good boat ride earlier today. I think he wants to find out right now. Boat ride looks pretty good. He just pulled his foot and he let Dave go by. Jeff, he came out of the pit area rocking and rolling and went around Dave at the top end, put his foot in it, and I just had the hunch he was going to give it a hard squirt down the front straightaway and see what the boat ride looked like. The only other piece I want to mention about all that is, for the first time this weekend, we actually have a little bit of a chop out here. We've got a little bit of a breeze coming across. This is going to be, and the water is by no means rough, but this is the roughest water that we have seen all weekend. It's the first time it hasn't laid down like a mill pond.
It is, Brad, but very manageable.
Oh, yes.
Coming up here for 3B, we are 3:30 away, and here's the Turbinator. Turbocharged Allison. Brad, as the day went on yesterday, these fans in Guntersville, they like the Turbinator.
They do like the Turbinator, and there he is, Jimmy King behind the wheel. Now, what's going on behind Mr. King right now is very interesting. We mentioned that J. Michael Kelly is number 5 in points. The top 5 boats in points get the run on the front row. Kelly is sitting on the bubble, and he's got a tough draw here. He is shadowing Dave Vilwalk. Dave Vilwalk up the backstretch tried to leave him and lose him and cut the course. Mike went right with him. Keep an eye on those 2 boats. Now Mike has kind of let him go, him being Dave Vilwalk in the bright orange Beacon Plumbing, as Vilwalk goes past Jimmy King in the piston-powered boat. Watch the top end of the course, Jeff Ayler. Let's see if anybody wants to come across. We are at 2:35.
Brad, your thoughts? I think the Turbinator, Jimmy King right now, 600 points in the 3rd position right now in the point totals. I think they'll go the outside, remain clean, be safe. I think right now J. Michael Kelly would love to get lane number 1 to put Vilwalk on his outside hip and have that positioning on the buoy row. That's kind of how I see this milling period taking place.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think J. Michael Kelly is going to pull a rabbit out of the hat here. and try and make a decent move or a good move to try and get that inside lane. We always say, Jeff, if you've got an ace up your sleeve, you don't want to play it in the preliminary heat, but when you're sitting on the bubble and you're number 5 in points and you draw these two guys, you got something good up your sleeve. You got to make it work. Here comes Dave. Dave's going to come across behind everybody, so that's going to leave Kelly with an inside lane, Jeff.
Beautiful shot of the Griggs presents Miss Ace Hardware on our video with H1 Unlimited via YouTube, going by the start-finish line buoy. We are coming up on the 1 minute 30-second mark. There it is, 1:30 away. So Jimmy King will lead the field down in turn number 1, and Griggs presents Miss Ace Hardware. Right now, J. Michael Kelly does have the positioning to be on the inside of Vilwalk and Beacon Plumbing. You have to have your lane established prior to the entrance pin. Turn number 2 to the left of us here on Lake Guntersville. Brad King is to the outside. Bring this lane situation up for Kelly and Vilwalk.
The U8, the Miss Tri-Cities. J. Michael Kelly behind the wheel is in lane number 1. Then next to him, the bright orange boat, the U40, the Beacon Plumbing, driven by Dave Vilwalk, the winningest driver in the history of H1 Unlimited Racing. And Jeff Ayler, as you called it, Jimmy King didn't want to have any part of it. He stayed wide to the outside. I think he's going to wind that thing up and give it a run down to the start. We still have we still have 35 seconds now until our start. The 3 boats are approaching the entrance pin to the buoy. They're a little bit early, but they're going to be just fine. They're going to be able to get a good run at the start. This might be real good. Coming up on 23, 2, 1. 20 seconds. Jeff, let's start. Heat 3B, presented by Explore Lake Guntersville.
I like the sequence. You need to be there at 15 seconds off the exit pin. Everyone was. The rooster tail rises. We are now 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark. It appears to be a clean start. We're racing in Explore Lake Guntersville. Unlimited Heat 3B here at the 2022 APBA Gold Cup. Into turn number 1, and getting there first is Dave Vilwalk in lane number 2 in the Beacon Plumbing. J. Michael Kelly tucked back in second. Brad, it's Vilwalk leading, but can Kelly get a charge?
We're going to find out what kind of shoot speed Mike's got right now. The start is good. So the start was legal. The way they're running on the water is the way they are running legally from a start perspective. You can hear King. He is on the outside of J. Michael Kelly. He's in 3rd place. But Jeff Ayler, the speed in the U40 Beacon Plumbing. Dave's got a rocket up there. He is walking away from JMK.
Vilwalk clearly in front, but we got a side-by-side battle for second. Dave Vilwalk will come down to complete lap number 1 in Explore Lake Guntersville Unlimited 3B, but here's your deck-to-deck battle for second, and the Turbinator pulls Kelly on the outside. Vilwalk clearly in front. Brad will watch this second place duel as they go into turn number 1. Kelly getting in the wake of Vilwalk in turn number 1, and King's got smoother water on the outside wake. Brad, they come off side by side.
Yeah, believe me, Dave Vilwalk knows exactly what's going on behind him. He also knows that Kelly's got to get points, so he's leaving him as rough a lane as he can, and Kelly's having to run through it. Meanwhile, King in the piston boat. Griggs presents Miss Ace Hardware, opened up about 6 boat lengths, all the way at the top end of the course, already at the apex. U40 Beacon Plumbing. Dave Vilwalk showing an incredible amount of power. Kelly's got to stay after this, Jeff. Oh, and he hooked up there a little bit. He got loose and had to pull his foot. It's a tough one for Kelly in that slop in 1.
It's all Dave Vilwalk and Explore Lake Guntersville Unlimited Heat 3B. White flag displayed. 1 more lap to go for Vilwalk in front. But boy, what a performance by the Turbinator. Jimmy King and U3. Griggs presents Miss Ace Hardware. Right now, King in a solid 2nd place finish, and the Go3 Racing team looking for their 2nd place on the weekend. J. Michael Kelly remains in the 3rd position. Brad, it's all Vilwalk, but let's keep our eye on King and Kelly for 2nd.
I tell you, those guys from Evansville, Indiana, the red U3 Turbinator. Griggs presents Ace Hardware. They came to race. This thing's running really hard. Kelly is in a tough tough spot right now. He's running through a whole bunch of slop. He got caught in it at the top end of the race course. He got caught in the bottom end of the race course. Checkered flag goes up in the air. As you like to say, Jeff, final turn, final lap. Bring home Mr. Vilwalk.
Explore Lake Guntersville Unlimited Heat 3B. 68-year-old Dave Vilwalk wins it in U40, Miss Beacon Plumbing. The third second place finish for the weekend for the Griggs presents Miss Ace Hardware. Jimmy King in second in the Turbinator. Third place will go to J. Michael Kelly in the U8 Miss Tri-Cities. So unofficially, Dave Vilwalk your winner in Beacon Plumbing. Jimmy King second. Griggs presents Miss Ace Hardware. J. Michael Kelly third in Miss Tri-Cities. Brad Vilwalk's got some power. He's got a great boat ride, but this Turbinator, 5 o'clock this afternoon, if they can hook that piston-powered boat up in lane number 1, might cause a little bit of havoc.
Somebody's going to have to
King and Griggs presents Miss Ace Hardware. We are inside the 6-minute mark for Guntersville Waterboard Unlimited 4A. Brad, please go over why the Turbinator is now being awarded 600 points due to a violation back in the third section.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Turbinator has run really strong this weekend, and it's been tremendous. But unfortunately, in their last heat, Jeff and I have been talking about the 80-mile-an-hour rule. And during the milling period, which is beginning right now as boats are coming away from the dock, you cannot go below 80 miles an hour. You must maintain that speed all the way to the start-finish line. Or translated another way, you have to be above 80 miles an hour for the next 5 minutes and 6 seconds. Unfortunately, Jimmy King in the U3, the Griggs presents Miss Ace Hardware, dropped below 80 miles an hour. Now, that in and of itself is not a penalty, but there's 2 ways you can incur that 80-mile-an-hour penalty. One is to drop below 80 miles an hour for a time period greater than 5 seconds, or you can drop below 80 miles an hour for more than 3 seconds twice. It was one of those. We believe it was a double violation for a 3-second violation, but it really doesn't make any difference. But the key to the whole thing, Jeff, is that does not grant them a penalty in any way as far as an extra lap or a minute on their time. It's a DSQ. So that takes away all the points, and unfortunately, it has put the 3 in a real tough spot as far as making a final.
No doubt a severe infraction, and they drew the 4-boat heat, so they need to score well, get some points, might actually need some help. You don't like to wish your competitors bad luck, but that is part of the racing game in H1 Unlimited Hydroplane Racing. Brad Luce, we are coming up on 3 minutes and 45 seconds until the start. Please ID our participants in Guntersville Waterboard 4A for our guests, fans along the shoreline, and those watching at home via H1 Unlimited through YouTube.
I will do that, definitely, Jeff. But we've had a lot of fans come up and ask us about speeds on the heats here this weekend. Couple quick numbers. In Heat 3A for H1 Unlimited, Corey Peabody in the Lynx Healthcare, the fastest lap he turned was lap number 2, 159.292. He was 0.2 of a mile an hour off a course and Gold Cup record. In Heat 3B, the fast lap was turned by Dave Vilwalk in the U40 Beacon Plumbing. It was lap 1 at 155 miles an hour. So that gives you an idea. I heard the Turbinator go by. We'll look at Corey Peabody there, Lynx Healthcare, as he goes down the front straightaway. He's going to cut the race course and head over to the backside. On the backside over there is the U40. That is the Beacon Plumbing. That is Dave Vilwalk, second overall in points. And remember, the points, as far as the race go, are how you find your way into the final heat. The top 5 boats will be on the front row. Jeff Bernard and the U91. The Miss Goodman Real Estate comes across start finish. Here comes Dave again. I hear the piston power, Jeff. He's up at the top end of the course. I ran some numbers. Let's just say it's a tall order. Jimmy's got to pretty much win this heat.
Exactly, Brad. Right now, Vilwalk and Bernard second and third in points respectively. I think they want to try to remain clean, keep their boat out of trouble. I think Corey Peabody would like a higher finish to get a little bit more safe position in that 5th spot right now in points. And there's that 3,000 horsepower turbocharged Allison. Griggs presents Miss Ace Hardware. We are 1 minute, 50 seconds until Guntersville Waterboard Unlimited 4A.
Watch Dave. Dave's going to come. Watch Bernard. I think he'll come with him. The question's going to be if Jeff will turn inside him, and he will not. Jeff's going to stay outside of him. Where's Corey? Jeff is going to come down. He's going to try and sneak inside Dave. Keep an eye on this one, Jeff, when they go down there. Corey's coming off the bottom of the course. So is Jimmy King. They are going to have to get over here and in a hurry. Corey, pick it up. Or Corey may cut the course again, but he's got to cut it up here at the top end.
We've not seen Jimmy King be this aggressive, Brad, in the milling period up until this section.
Starting a new job or leaving an old one? When life changes, your taxes do too. With 70 years of experience.
So Bernard just cut to the inside, but I was mentioning the Turbinator. I think they'd like to get the inside, but right now, Brad, at 55 seconds, it looks like King might have to go to the outside.
Yeah, I don't think he's really upset with that, although look where Corey's going to show up when he gets over there. He's going to get over there behind King. That may put Corey on the far outside, depending on what Jimmy King wants to do. But leading up the back chute here with about 38 seconds to go, Jeff Bernard is in 1. Dave Vilwalk is in 2. Now watch these guys go up there. Jeff, put him in a lane here. If you see, you're looking at the monitor, it looks to me like Corey's going to get in 3, and the Turbinator's going to come on the outside with Jimmy King.
Right now, lane number 1, Jeff Bernard in the Goodman Real Estate. Corey Peabody trying to make a lane in lane number 2. Vilwalk in 3, King to the outside. They are at the exit pin at 15 seconds. This looks to be ideal. We are now 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. We're racing. It appears to be a clean start. In Guntersville Waterboard Unlimited 4A, Peabody made a lane in there in lane number 2. We're going to turn number 1. Corey Peabody in front, but Bernard with the inside lane, and they just about touched, and they are deck to deck.
Coming off the corner, it is Jeff Bernard on the inside, and the guy with the best start of the heat, Corey Peabody, Lynx Healthcare. He's got about 2 boat lengths on Bernard. Believe me, there's a bright orange boat on the outside with Dave Vilwalk behind the wheel. That's the Beacon Plumbing, and you can hear the piston boat, the Griggs Ace Hardware. Top end of the race course, it is Corey Peabody driving the Lynx Healthcare and showing some really good speed here. Bernard, can he make up some time? But watch up there, Jeff. Where is Vilwalk? There he is right there. He slides out. So here come the top 3 leaders here in our Heat 4A, presented by the Guntersville Waterboard.
Corey Peabody putting it to the wood in U9 Lynx Healthcare. 1 complete, 2 to go. Peabody in front. And Vilwalk is flying on the outside in the Beacon Plumbing. We go back into turn number 1. 1, 2, 3. Peabody gets there first. Vilwalk is still in second, and Vilwalk is swung way outside in turn number 1. Brad Peabody, your leader. Bernard and Vilwalk side by side for second.
The start has been ruled good. Everybody is legal. Corey Peabody really moving, but look at the orange boat. Vilwalk starting to close. He's into the rooster tail of Corey Peabody as they approach the top end of the race course. Bernard's not out of this yet either. 1, 2, 3 at the top end. Oh boy, can Dave run him down? I don't know, Jeff. Corey's got a lot of speed, but Dave's coming hard.
Vilwalk swung way outside in turn number 2, tightens it back up. Corey Peabody driving a whale of a race here in Guntersville Waterboard Unlimited 4A. The white flag is displayed. I'm surprised Vilwalk still got it to the wood. He's trying to chase down Peabody to get 400 points in 4A. Bernard in 3rd, King in 4th. Back in turn number 1, Peabody driving good there in lane number 1. in the Lynx Healthcare, and Vilwalk has cut it down to 7 boat lengths.
Here comes Dave on the outside. This is the white flag lap. The checkers will be hanging next time. Vilwalk's got to pull up alongside of Corey, and Corey is slowed down. Corey has lost power. He lost some power. He still got it on, but clearly he was slowing down. Vilwalk went by him like he was tied to a post. Dave Vilwalk, the U-40, is a rocket ship.
Now we got to watch for Bernard is so far back, I don't think, and Brad, I'm looking at the monitor. I thought Peabody lost his front canard wing, but I believe it's still attached.
What's the race for third, Jeff?
Dave Vilwalk, checkered flag waving. Here's your winner of Guntersville Waterboard 4A. It's Dave Vilwalk and Beacon Plumbing. Second place will go to Corey Peabody in the Lynx Healthcare. Side by side for third. The Turbine on the inside. The Turbinator on the outside. It's a drag race to the finish, and the Turbinator will get 225 points in third. Jimmy King and the Griggs presents Miss Ace Hardware. Jeff Bernard will get fourth in the Goodman Real Estate. Fans in Guntersville, how about that H1 Unlimited action?
How about that kind of stuff? Holy cow. Some of our race sites have 300. Katie said something about 250. We've heard some incredible numbers.
Fierce excitement in this one as we did in the last one, but we want to keep our eye out on the U8 Miss Tri-Cities. Your defending Southern Cup champion. It's been a struggle here in Guntersville. Let's see how the 8 runs here in 4B and see if they have the problem solved to gain more boat speed and better boat ride.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't think we'll see what we saw in the previous heat. However, I expect J. Michael Kelly, at least for one lap, to stretch this thing out. I think they've got to figure out what they've got. And they haven't been able to solve the little issues they've been having. I look for Mike to pop this thing at the start and really give it a run. I think also he'd like to run with Jimmy at least once down the front chute and just kind of measure himself a little bit. Somebody's got to solve that blue and white bomb right there.
Beautiful boat ride here in the warm-up period for Jimmy Shane and Miss Homestreet. The native of Havre de Grace, Maryland, now resides in San Antonio, Texas. Jimmy, 5 APBA Gold Cup wins, tied with the legendary Gar Wood. Gar Wood won his Gold Cups 5 consecutive years from 1917 to 1921. Brad Shane looking for a 6th to go on that list, 4th all-time behind Chip Hanauer, Dave Vilwalk, and Bill Muncie. But Dave Vilwalk wants to win the Gold Cup to tie his buddy Hanauer.
Yeah, he really does. And as you were talking, you didn't think Jimmy would do anything too extravagant. He's just put himself on the outside. He's not even going to mess with trying to get an inside lane. I think that's going to belong to Kelly unless Nielsen wants to stick his nose in there. I think Kelly wants to run this hard at the start and measure himself at least one straightaway, one lap, at least a little bit against that Homestreet, because if he's going to pull off a Gold Cup win, he's going to have to beat him.
There might be a deflector for J. Michael Kelly to get lane number 1. It's Jamie Nielsen, Miss Colleen. He leads him up the back chute.
And he loves to get lane 1, and he has never been shy about putting his nose in there. Boat ran real good in Tri-Cities last year, final heat. Lane 1 belonged to Jamie Nielsen. So looking at our clock, coming up on 45 seconds in mark. 45 seconds until the start. Nielsen 3/4 of the way up the backstretch with 40 seconds. Then behind him quite a ways to J. Michael Kelly. Boy, watch Jimmy wind up that blue one. He's going to come a-charging. Now here comes Jimmy now. He's starting to get the pedal down. Jeff, we are coming up on 20 seconds until the start. It's Heat 4B presented by Guntersville Waterboard. Let's go racing. Final time to earn points before the final.
15 seconds, that's ideal off that exit pin to the start-finish line buoy. It is Guntersville Waterboard Unlimited 4B. We are 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. mark, and we will call it physically. I'm certain the start will be under review. 3 unlimited hydroplanes flying into turn number 1 on lap number 1. Jamie Nielsen gets there first, Brad, and Miss Colleen, but Jimmy Shane is there on the outside. Surprised we've not seen him yet.
Now, we haven't seen him yet. He's back about 4 boat lengths. Scott Rainey, that Miss Colleen is running hard down the backstretch. J. Michael Kelly is giving ground to both of them. Where is Jimmy Shane? Jeff, he's back about 3 boat lengths, but that inside position paying big dividends for Jamie Nielsen in the U11 of Miss Colleen. You're going to see Jimmy Shane when they get to the exit pin. Where is he? There he is. Plenty of room there for both boats. Kelly falls back in the Miss Tri-Cities. Bring him to lap 1, Jeff.
Beautiful side-by-side dueling. Nielsen to the inside, Shane to the outside. We will come down to complete lap number 1, and it is a heater after lap number 1. But Shane gaining momentum on the outside in Miss Home Street. Nielsen will drop back to second, and Miss Colleen. But no, Nielsen has popped his nose back out in front. Jamie Nielsen driving a whale of a race on the inside, Shane in second.
The start is under review, and if it is, I think it's going to involve Jamie Nielsen, but we call them the way they are in the water. There's the powder blue of Jimmy Shane. There is a potential penalty on one of the boats. We'll assume it happened at the start. We'll call them as they are in the water. That's what we do until it's official. Jimmy Shane, once again, rocking and rolling at the top end of the race course. He's been driving everybody so clean. Watch how much room he gives Nielsen. There's 3 lanes in there, maybe 4. So plenty of room. Jimmy's got it wound up. He will come down. White flag, Jeff. Give it to him.
White flag displayed. Now Jimmy Shane extends it out, make it 7 boat lengths. 1 more lap to go, and Guntersville Waterboard Unlimited 4B. And now Nielsen back about 1 rooster tail in second in the Miss Colleen. And J. Michael Kelly remains in third in Miss Tri-Cities. But Jamie Nielsen, Brad, is not giving up. Shane has got some competition on the inside. They are side by side.
Yeah, Nielsen does not want to go away, and Jimmy gave it a squirt coming down the front straightaway, and he kind of moved out on Jamie, and Jamie said, I'm not going away. Keeping that left side rear view mirror full of chartreuse and royal blue. Miss Colleen, keep an eye on Mr. Kelly. Kelly is coming hard on the outside in third. Jeff, I'm going to give this to you now, but watch Kelly off the top end.
No doubt, Brad. Keep your eye on Kelly. Could he sneak up on Nielsen to get the second spot? We see the checkered flag waving. We're about to conclude Guntersville Waterboard Unlimited 4B. Your winner is Jimmy Shane. Here comes Kelly. Time is running out. Second place will go to Jamie Nielsen by 3 boat lengths over J. Michael Kelly in the Miss Tri-Cities. So Jimmy Shane wins Guntersville Waterboard Unlimited 4B. Nielsen, though, Brad, seems to be on charge a little bit more. I think the possible 1 lap infraction could be on this craft.
Yeah, I'm going to assume that they're asking him to take an extra lap while they review that start just in case, because that's what the penalty would be. We have heard of a potential 1 lap penalty, and the reason they do that, and I like when that rule got changed, because if you charge him the 1 lap penalty, he actually has to go out and finish that 4th lap. To get us all pumping, Jeff Ayler, we're inside 10 minutes to the start of the APBA Gold Cup, the 112th running. I just walked by my wife down there, and she says, you okay? I said, no. I said, I'm nervous as heck. I got hair standing up on the back of my neck, and we're...
I think when I won the Gold Cup, that was the crowning achievement of my whole life.
The unlimited hydroplanes, the powerhouses of boat racing, run for the Gold Cup. This is the one every man in boat racing strives to win, because this is the top prize.
Muncie came out of nowhere to take the lead. And Talent almost completely off the water.
The object? A small Tiffany Gold Cup that represents the pinnacle of achievement for the hydroplane racer.
Tens or whatever the scale might be, the biggest number. That's what they're going to get from me. I want to come down here and do this again. And
coming up on the 2-minute mark. 2 minutes, and Shane is down on power up in turn number 2. Brad, could that be a penalty? He is completely down on power. You can see the boat. It is nestled dead in the water just outside the exit pin of turn 2.
The referees are going to have to take a look at that because, and now he's firing it up again. But, oh, there are some rules about that one in the rule book.
But we'll go ahead and call it physically. We are now 125 until the start, 125 away. Here's Shane. We saw that boat dead in the water just outside the exit pin of turn number 2. 115 away, 115. Peabody in turn 1. Brad, there is Vilwalk, and right now he is trying to position his boat in lane number 1. We are exactly.
He's going to come.
1 minute from the 112th APBA Gold Cup. He's weaving back and forth,
he's weaving
Brad, to
back
kill time.
That's why you're seeing that wall of water come up. He's trying to kill time. Dave is way early up toward the top end of the race course. Then it's Corey Peabody coming up. Corey Peabody is behind him. Then here comes Shane. Here comes Bernard. And that's J. Michael Kelly with a pretty hot head of steam coming up there behind everybody. And then our trailer boat is Jamie Nielsen and Miss Colleen. The 112th running of the APBA Gold Cup. Here we go. Looking at the clock, we're inside 26 seconds. Oh my goodness, Dave is so early. Look how wide he's going up there to kill time. That's another question. Coming off the top end of the race course, this one looks like it's ragged. There's your 5 boats on the front row. Jeff Ayler, start our Gold Cup.
10 seconds away, the Gold Cup sponsor, Marshall County Tourism and Sports. We're 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. We're racing in the final heat of the APBA Gold Cup here at Lake Guntersville. 3 of them across the line. Shane, Kelly, and Bernard. We look up above. Jimmy Shane, your leader in Miss Home Street. J. Michael Kelly in second, but Brad Corey Peabody tightening things up in lane 1. Shane in front.
Yeah, a whole lot of boats coming off the corner. Good start. Everything is legal.
Kelly going dead in the water, turn 1.
Kelly is down. Now up the backstretch, it is Jimmy Shane, and he's opening up water on Corey Peabody. He's opening up a lot of water on Corey Peabody. Boy, this is going to be a case of somebody trying to overpay for the inside lane. Vilwalk got up there too late, had to move it all the way to the outside. But the boat that came from lane 2, Jimmy Shane driving to home. Oh, and Corey Peabody had to go through the rooster tail of Jimmy Shane.
We will come down to complete lap number 1, Marshall County Tourism and Sports. APBA Gold Cup, your leader comfortably out in front right now, Jimmy Shane and Miss Home Street. Second place to Corey Peabody and Lynx Healthcare. Jeff Bernard in the 3rd spot in Goodman Real Estate, and Vilwalk is still trying hard, flying in 4th in Beacon Plumbing. We go back into turn number 1. Shane remains in front, and Brad with Kelly dead in the water, that could cause a problem.
Keep an eye on Dave Vilwalk. He drove to the inside of Bernard down there. Vilwalk is trying to sneak up on Jeff Bernard. He's on the inside in 4th place. Now halfway up the backstretch, it is all Jimmy Shane. I'll tell you what, it's a rough boat ride for Corey Peabody. And here comes Dave. He's coming on the inside of Bernard. He's trying to run him down. He moved over. After he crossed start-finish line, he made a move to the inside. And Dave is not running. Hey, I thought maybe he was dropping down a little bit, but our leader is at the top end of the race course. It is all powder blue and white. It is Jimmy Shane.
We will come down to complete lap number 2. Once again, this is a 5-lap final. Jimmy Shane, 2 complete, 3 to go in the 112th APBA Gold Cup. Corey Peabody still charging hard in second position in U9 Lynx Healthcare. Jeff Bernard, oh, and Phil Walk just about dumped it right here in front of us in fourth. He's flying high. Brad Shane's still your leader, but Peabody is not giving up in second.
No, Peabody's running very hard. Dave is really loose. The last time down the front straightaway, he went to the inside. It didn't work. He's now on the outside of Bernard, but our race is up front at the lower end of the race course. Peabody closed up on Shane, but now Jimmy has opened it back up. Shane on lap number 3, up toward the top end of the race course. He's still leaving room in there for Corey Peabody, so see if Corey can make up some time at the top end. Shane is past the apex. He is to the entrance pin. Now Peabody's moving to the outside. That's going to make it extremely difficult. And there we go. That is Dave Vilwalk has now moved into third at the entrance pin to the upper corner, Jeff.
Lap number 3 complete. Jimmy Shane make it 2 Rooster Tail advantage over Corey Peabody and Lynx Healthcare in second. Dave Vilwalk has moved into the third position in Beacon Plumbing. Jeff Bernard in fourth, Goodman Real Estate. Jamie Nielsen fifth, and Miss Colleen. J. Michael Kelly dead in the water in turn number 1. Brad off the turn. Now Shane's lead, getting a little bit more comfortable, but still work to do.
Yeah, he's got almost 2 Rooster Tails here up the backstretch, but this is the Gold Cup. You're not going to just give it in and let it go. So Corey's going to try and stay in that rear view mirror. We'll keep an eye on him. Our third place boat is off the lower end of the race course. That is Dave Vilwalk in the Beacon Plumbing. Right now, Jimmy Shane has just got to keep the fire lit, keep his boat clean. Watch him at the top end of the race course, Jeff. He's not going to try and tighten it up too much. He'll swing out, bring him down to get the white flag.
Shane exits the corner. We do see the white flag in hand. Jimmy Shane, Marshall County Tourism and Sports APBA Gold Cup Championship. 4 complete and 1 more mile to victory to break the tie between him and the legendary Gar Wood with 5 Gold Cup victories, 4th on the all-time list. Corey Peabody not giving up in second. Vilwalk remains in third. Brad off the turn. Shane in front. Time is running out for Corey Peabody.
It is time to pick our leader off the lower corner and bring him around to an apparent victory in the 2022 APBA Gold Cup on Lake Guntersville. He's halfway up the backstretch. Corey Peabody still stays about a rooster tail and a half behind him. There is nobody except Jamie Nielsen in front of of Jimmy Shane. He is at the top end of the race course, and Jeff Ayler, you have done so many times. Bring our winner to the Gold Cup line.
Final turn, final lap. Marshall County Tourism and Sports APBA Gold Cup. Shane sees the checkered flag. Jimmy Shane wins his 6th APBA Gold Cup at the Lake Guntersville HydroFest 2022 edition here in Guntersville, Alabama. Corey Peabody will get second in the Lynx Healthcare. Third position will go to Dave Vilwalk in Miss Beacon Plumbing. Up in turn number 2, Jeff Bernard in the second Miss Madison entry. Running in fourth in Goodman Real Estate. And Brad, that is the 3rd consecutive Gold Cup win for Miss Madison Racing, all driven.